Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter. And guys, I'm like about to sneak in one more message for this week. I'm going to do something a little bit differently. So instead of doing our typical like pulling from, one of these decks, I'm actually just going to pull an oracle card. So let's just get right into it. Dear God, guardian angels, ancestors, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear at this time? Please deliver these messages to me and through me. I don't know what's been going on, but all my messages have been like 30 minutes, and so I'm trying to do like maybe a little quick little 15-minute message or something. So we'll see. The message that came out is the Fool and the Four of Wands. I love this so much. The Fool with the Four of Wands, it gives me this energy, angel number 50, that you are kind of, you, me, us, we are kind of in this place where we're just being a fool for love, where we're in this place where we may be single, but we're really thinking about these foundations that we want to build. We're really thinking about what we want our, ideal relationship to be like. And I feel like what God is saying is that if you be the fool and you kind of take a carefree approach, like you'll be able to get those things for you. The Fool is all about, fresh new beginnings. We see that this woman has her dog. She's kind of on the ledge, and she kind of just was like, la, 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 la. I'm out here enjoying my life. And I feel like God is saying, like, there's nothing wrong with having a carefree approach, but you also see, like, she's damn near about to walk off this cliff. And so I love that this Four of Wands came out, because what God is saying is that it's okay to have this energy of being lighthearted, of being carefree, of being like, every day is a fresh new start. The world is at my fingertips. But then you can also have that mindset of, I want to do things to set solid foundations. I want to think about my end goal. I want to think about the life that I want to create, the life that I want to live ultimately. And so what God is saying, be the fool, but also make preparations for the future. Also think about the foundations that you need to take. And honestly, it makes me think about the love message that we had this week, and how it was kind of all about, you may be single, and you may be in isolation, but if you don't focus on the isolation and you really focus on like, okay, what type of relationship do I want? And then you work on becoming that person that you want, like growing into those characteristics, I think ultimately you would get the love that is meant for you. So, hello. That was like a quick little message. I'm actually going to go ahead and go to the book really quickly, and I'm going to look and see what this message of the Fool is all about. And then I'm gonna get a earth angel and get us out of here. Like, this is gonna be a quick message. I'm not gonna overdo it. That's what I'm not gonna do today. Okay, so the Fool. The grand adventure begins. The fearless fool with her daredevil. The grand adventure begins. The fearless fool with her daredevil may care attitude is ready to take the first step towards the unknown. Pure passion and optimism fuel her as she dances to her music to joy itself. She doesn't know what lies beyond the cliff's edge, but she's left life behind in the city. Goodbye to normalcy, to routine, to the structured life she's had within society. She fully trusts her instincts to carry her beyond the ordinary. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Now is the time for you to start your journey, because you're ready. Be spontaneous and let your wilderness run free. Don't look back in fear. Look ahead and up to the sky and sun, and let your instincts guide you. You got this. And I feel like I love this message, because I feel like what God is saying is that this is not a time to like, I feel like all the messages this week felt like it was all about God saying like, you have to make this decision on if you're going to live for the world or if you're going to live for me. Are you going to be more concerned about how you look to the outside world, what people think you should have accomplished, or are you just going to die to those outside beliefs and focus on living a life for yourself? Focus on only making sure that you feel good. I feel like what God is saying, if you do that, if you don't worry about what other people think, and you just be fearless and just leap into the unknown and just trust that God will deliver all those things that your heart desires, he'll catch you and he will definitely deliver for you. For the Four of Wands, what does this message say? All right, so Four of Wands Four of Wands. The garden is growing luxurious, and these two have wandered away from their stress and planning to have a little fun. It may be a surprise, but you got good times on the horizon. Take a break from your hard work and put your energy into treating yourself. So again, I feel like what God is saying, and then look at my other deck, we have these 10 of cups just right here saying like you're at this finish line. I feel like you're just at this point where God is saying like he doesn't want you to think about how you're going to get the love of your life. Think about how you're going to, create this amazing business, how you're going to have this family structure. But he just wants you to just go have fun. Angel number 535, and just get out of your head and just go and do it. Like, good times are on the horizon. You have to believe that all the hard work, all of the crying, all of your tears led to something. Like, it had to mean something. And I feel like that's what God is trying to get to you. Last thing, on the other deck, 7 of Pentacles was underneath this. And again, this is all about abundant, like somebody being abundant, somebody taking the time to water their own garden. But then she's also like, looks a little over it. And I think that's what God is saying is like, you've been working really, really hard on like setting these foundations for yourself and working on yourself. And God is saying, I acknowledge all of that, but now I just need you to just let it go and just go have fun. When you do that, I bet you all the things you want will come to you more quickly. But the reason it's not happening is because you're like sitting there waiting for it. Like, it's like she's literally waiting for these leaves to grow. Like, okay, now I watered it and I grow. And it's like, God is like, girl, no, go have fun and then watch life surprise you. Okay. All right. So I am going to leave this message, what I promised you guys, with a Earth Warrior. So to summarize, I just feel like this message is all about God saying like, now is the time for you to take a more carefree light. Like, he wants you to stop working so hard, to stop waiting for miracles, stop waiting for this big life change, and just go live life. Like, focus on feeling good in your day-to-day life. And when you do that, you'll find that more and more good times will come to you. Like, literally, now I feel like I'm like, damn, like, why was I could have been feeling so much better, so much quicker if I wasn't just sitting around my house, like being sad on Instagram. Like, you got to go out and live your damn life, okay? Angel number 725. All right, God, clarify this message. Wrap it up in a bow. What do you want us to get us to understand about the Fool, the 4 of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles, God? Give us one final message. Allow no room or doubt or confusion. How do you want us to know that we're working too hard? How can we just become a fool in our life while also setting solid foundations and doing it with the people that we love? Or any messages that you deem worthy. In God's name I pray, Ashe. I do feel like God is like, you've been working very, very hard, and it's time for you to just go have fun and live your life. All right, so I'm going to take this bottom card, and the card that we're going to focus on is Goddess of, I cannot pronounce that, but she guards the water of life. Angel number 815. She looks like one of my grandmas. She definitely looks like she can be one of my grandmas. Like, very strong. They have very strong jaw features. My cheeks are a little more fat, but theirs are very strong. Okay. The ancient guardian mother protects the waters of life and offers her protection for blessing. Her appearance inaugurates a time of purification and cleansing, leading to enhanced fertility. You are a generator of positive energy as fuel for obstructive outcomes. We need your vitals beginning to keep nourishing the human collective with helpful alternatives to mainstream consciousness. You will be protected and supported at the deep level of your soul, so as to become the creator and custodian of a clean reserve of consciousness from which souls thirsty for purity, relief, and love can drink. The ancient mother will help you to help her and the many creatures within her care. She will help you to be fearless, inventive with your loving creation of healing consciousness. Consider, that was a mouthful. This book can be hella deep sometimes. Consider the need to cut cords to negative or unhelpful influences in your life, whether they be habits, people, or forms of entertainment and media that threaten to distort the pure and wise use of your wild spirit and ignited mind. Whilst it is important that you engage with others, the sacred creator within you requires time and space and solitude to process, reflect, contemplate, and create. Only then can you remember who you are and what it is important to you, and summon the inner power to act accordingly. In that way, you will not become overly swayed by any lesser forces, particularly mainstream consciousness that perpetuate victimizing thought patterns and behaviors. Give yourself a chance for spiritual, psychological, and emotional time out and cleansing so you can recognize the inner truth of your soul and adhere to it faithfully. Angel number 1034. And I feel like this goes back to this message of the Fool, where God is asking you to die to like all of these social norms, how people think you should be, how people think you should live your life, and just focus on you. So this is clarifying that God really wants you to kind of take this time of isolation and just get take this time of isolation and to sync with yourself and being the Fool. In the valley in modern Mexico rests the spirit of Tenochtitlan. I don't know how to pronounce this. This ancient city is shrouded in historical mystery, yet the call to honor the great goddess of Takanog is the sacred feminine creature of water and life continues. You have work to accomplish to cleanse consciousness of impurity, to be a free thinker and a seeker of deeper loving truth. What original healing stories will give birth to you in your life in this world? If you become dried up and depleted, the Divine Mother brings you nourishment. Let the inner well of your soul be filled with her presence and grace through deep rest and contemplation. Give yourself space and time for renewal and allow any unload of mind or nervous system to discharge into the earth. If you have lost the zest for your passion, or have become confused, overwhelmed, or scattered with too many ideas or directions, you need the spiritual cleansing, which is her blessing she brings to you. The waters of higher consciousness must be safeguarded so that they can become a tonic for souls who are thirsty for truth. When you value your uniqueness and your originality highly, you become willing to bear the uncertainty that accompanies absence of the familiar. Kindly yet vigorously contest any who attempt to exploit, direct, or distort the true expression of your higher knowing. In contemplation, in purity, In contemplation, impure material separates from the truth and is filtered out of the soul. The impurity of your truth, such as a seemingly subtle quality, has an astonishing power to effect change. As you take time to allow purity to emerge from deeply restful, reflective meditation, your energy and spiritual potency grow. Your potential to be an influence in this world increase accordingly. However, so too does the interest of less noble creatures in exploiting that delicious divine power from their nefarious purposes. Avoid such tragedies by refusing to entertain any person or idea that drains, deplete, or diminish the quality of your consciousness. Be resolute and exacting. If it does not resonate with your heart purity, courageously and unapologetically cast it out. In the uncompromising defense of your most strange and beautiful ideas, uplifting truth, and fierce loving kindness, you will come to know what it feels like to be a new world in yourself. New world in and of yourself. You will feel like a planet in devotion orbit around a divine sun. Instead of contorting yourself to fit in the frustrated and gasping worlds of others, you will offer those seeking something more beautiful the opportunity of finding refuge within your world. Instead of being influenced, you will become an influencer. Instead of trying to dominate others, you awaken within them the desire for their own higher nature. You effect healing transformation without force. This is the way of the yin power of the sacred water wisdom that cleanses the impurity and creates new life without diminishing of its life force. You have the opportunity to shift from stressful striving to more restful and abundant creations. Source from the depths of your being in silent or absorbing communion with the divine. It takes discipline and commitment to learn this new way of being, To recognize the essential need for time and space and contemplation to consciously create. It takes courage to refuse to bow down to the productivity pushers who are interested in authentic offering that heal both through the process of their creation as well as in their final form. They just want more stuff to perpetuate conveyor belt consumerism for the genuine benefit of no one. Your refusals are sacred. They bring with them the thirsting, quenching waters of grace, bestowing freedom, willingness, well-being, and soul-satisfying experiments of fulfillment. And so that was a mouthful. But when I was reading that, with this message of the Fool and the Four of Wands coming up, and I think about like all the messages that I've heard this week, I really, it's kind of confirming, it's confirming what I'm doing right now. I told you that I have given up social media, given up dating websites. Not like giving up social media, like I'm not on it at all, but like I'm not about to be, stressing myself out about being on Instagram. I'm not about to learn TikTok. I realized like I want to be a writer, and I'm just going to focus on being a writer. That's it. I'm going to focus on being a writer, having fun, and doing the things that God told me to do. I'm not going to, I put in my mind, I can't focus about when is the audience coming, how I'm going to sell this book. Like, that's not my job. Like, I can't, that's God stuff. All I can do is focus on the product, focus on completing the things that God has given to me. And I feel like this message came out to like give me confirmation and to also remind you that when you're walking your path, it's not about anybody else. It's about you and God, you and your God, and you and the connection that y'all have. And you have to do whatever you have to do to protect that relationship with God. So if that means that you have to cut certain people out of your life, then they have to go. But the most important thing is your relationship with God. Even if that person is your family, even if that person is your mom, like you have to protect yourself. You have to make sure that you are okay so that you can keep having this relationship with God. And what God is trying to say is like for us creatives out there, God is saying, don't worry about what the world wants or what the world standards or what the world needs or what's selling, what's marketable. Fuck that. You focus on what you need, what fuels you. And when you focus on that, it's going to feed others. It was a paragraph right here where it says, instead of being influenced, instead of contorting yourself to fit into the frustrated and grasping worlds of others, you will offer those seeking something more beautiful the opportunity of finding refugees within your world. What God is saying is that when you take the time to be the fool, to set your foundations, what you will find is that others will come be a part of what you have built, what you have created. You don't have to worry about going and fitting into somebody's box, because when you take up space for yourself, when you take up space for yourself, you're sending a signal to the universe that it can invite others, that other people can be in this space. And so now other people don't have to worry about contorting themselves or fitting into a certain standard of living. It makes me think about, and I don't want to pick on her, but it makes me think about Nicki Minaj and like how, because Nicki felt self-conscious about her ass and because she was hanging around, Cuddy, be quiet. I'm talking. Anyways, so like I was saying, like because Nicki was feeling self-conscious about her ass because she was around Lil Wayne and them and they was always talking about big asses, now every female rapper has to have a big ass because she couldn't overcome with that. She couldn't get her relationship with God together. And so now, say for example, you are a female rapper and you're a female rapper and people are starting to give you that pressure. But what God is saying is that you don't have to conform to those pressure. You show up as with your natural hair, your regular flat ass booty, and people are going to be like, oh, it's okay to have a regular flat ass booty. It's okay to be a natural hair person. And then people are going to feel more comfortable walking into their truth. People are going to feel better with being their true self. They're not going to feel like I have to get a BBL in order to be acceptable. What God is saying is that you stay true to you and I'll bring the world to you. I'll bring you the audience. It says right here, instead of being influenced, you become the influence. Instead of trying to dominate others, you will awaken them with the desire for their own higher nature. You wondering why, I know so many people probably wonder why Oprah has the effect that Oprah have. How the fuck did Oprah become Oprah? Because Oprah wasn't out here trying to be like, what does the world want? Oprah, because Oprah focused on being Oprah. Oprah focused on being her best self. She focused on creating a show that she will want to watch, a show that will feed her. And guess what? Once it fed her, once she enjoyed what she was doing, it affected millions and billions of others. People are not influenced by Oprah because of how the fuck she wear her hair or because she's a bigger girl. People are influenced with Oprah because she walks in the spirit of God. She walks in the spirit of truth, of love. And people see that and they feel that and they feel her authenticity and they want that for themselves. And that's what God is saying. When you walk, I will bring the fucking table to you. You don't have to worry about contorting into all of these different ways. Be the fool. Set your own foundation. Set your own standards of living and watch me deliver everything to you. Okay? All right. Angel number 20 on 4 already went past and didn't even plan on it. All right. So put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. Divine Mother, please help humankind to understand and implement the best ways to protect the natural resources of this planet. May we use the creative power of our consciousness with wild, loving reverence for life, generating wise action, and purifying the waters of spiritual grace to restore all beings thirsty for truth. In God's name, I pray. Ashe. All right, y'all. That is all the messages I have for you. Just to go ahead and wrap this message up in a beautiful bow. God is telling you to go be the fool. Don't worry about what the world expects of you, how it looks to others. Set your own foundations. Set your own way of being. Think about your own dreams and how you want to live life. Though you have been working very hard, God is saying you don't have to work so hard. Let go some of this stress. Release the worry while you're focused on your 10 of cups and watch the God and the universe deliver it to you. All right. I'm done. Boop, 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 boop. I will see you guys soon. All right. I'm done. Talk to you later. If you made it to the end of this message, you're not subscribed. I think I already said that. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you. Never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. See you soon.